So what's interesting is from the side, yeah, it looks like this big goal, but from the side I was at was the skinny side, and it was twice that big, and I was just right down there in that straight line. I mean, that's like half as skinny as the other Bigfoot there. Was looking through these two trees, and look at, see, that's like a little X there. Look at this one here. This is all new, actually. Yeah, this is where I was. I was walking right down the middle here, and I kind of looked up like this. So if I do a reenactment, folks, there is no way that what I saw was almost more like this. From this side, that's what I saw. So I'm gonna go back through the angles here, because I saw something more like that, not like this. I'm gonna go back a little bit further, even though it's raining, because it's just like compelling me. So I was right about here. I was looking down these sticks and that stick. This is the Bigfoot I saw, but the problem is that this uproot is facing this way, and where I was standing was over here looking this way from the side angle, and there is no way that this is what I saw in the video. It was almost twice as thick, so it's maybe so smart to stand in front of it. And look at this big X it has, this big leaner. Look at that X right there, it placed over that. It's raining out here. It's skinny. You see, like, the tree is falling over this way. Folks, there is no way that what I saw was almost more like this. From this side, that's what I saw. So I'm gonna go back through the angles here, because I saw something more like that, not like this. So I'm thinking maybe it was standing in front of it, and I look around this area. There's a dock over here. I kept hearing things getting thrown and bounced off. This vine is wrapped right there. Okay, well, so what? Some of these tree falls got stuck in the vine, okay, but it's just coming around. Look at this little mess up here. There's a stick kind of going through it, kind of wedging all that up in there. Kind of strange. A hanger is what we call them. The black vine. So right where I was standing, and what I noticed was looking through these two trees, and look at, see, that's like a little X there. Look at this one here. This is all new, actually. Yeah, this is where I was. I was walking right down the middle here, and I kind of looked up like this. So if I do a reenactment, it does have the angle, actually. It does have a little angle. from what I saw, but was it, I don't know if I saw that log in front of it. I can't see that. I can't see a lot of things. I'm going to go back a little bit further even though it's raining, because it's just like compelling me. So I was right about here. I was looking down these sticks and that stick, and kind of came up like this. There was something between those two trees. Look at that face in there even right now. Look at that face looking at me. It was not looking at me before. It's like the raindrops made a face or something. But anyways, what I'm saying is this doesn't look like the same thing at all. I will move around a couple angles here. I don't see any of those sticks that were in front of it. This thing looks taller, so maybe it was so smart to use that as a decoy and to stand in front of it. I'm not sure, but the sticks in front of it all look different, you know. And I try to go up there to verify. I'm gonna go back up there to see if there's any of those sticks around, because it was kind of like this. I look down, that doesn't look the same. I think it was actually even further on the edge. So this is like a real Bigfoot like sighting. They're really smart people. Look at these vines, they're all intertwined up right here since I left. This one's going over that one, over this one. Look at that one. They're just all nestled up in here, kind of like saying, keep out. It's like they take these vines and they, but I know all the sticks I saw in front of it, I saw like an X over the back of it. I saw like this, like 2 or 3 together that were in front of it. You know, these things are really that clever. Wow, this is amazing. And look at what it's even left a stick on there. It's like it has no purpose to be there. It's all thrown together with a metal pole. Okay, so the tree got uprooted. Is from the side, yeah, it looks like this big gold, but from the side I was at was the skinny side, and it was twice that big, and I was just right down there in that straight line. I mean, that's like half as skinny as the other Bigfoot there, and I'm seeing all this like weird, like, see, this stick looks like it's just way out of place up there. Broken bend. There's a little X on the bottom over here. But I didn't see all the stuff in here that I saw before that was like covering it up. I'm looking for it. I don't see any of those figures I saw I was zooming in. So maybe it's that clever. I saw one recently do that, a cinnamon one, and made itself look like a dwarf from a burnt out stick. The top part was all black, and it put a ribbon around this thing. I don't see any of the formations. I don't see the thickness. It looked like it had an arm that was going like that all the way down, almost like as if this whole thing is turned. Totally amazing. Somewhere around in here came out. I don't know how. Thought it was gonna disappear through the sticks. It was hanging out back here in the back, and look, it's got these blinds so you can't get over here at all. 1, 2, 3, 4. And once you mark it right at the outside of it, you know, it leaves an X. I'm telling you, looking from the side of it, I see nothing. But these vines, they're that smart. And to be down there, just to hide either behind there or in front of it, and optical illusion itself, maybe over to this way, and down in here, actually looks like a little pit or cave. I don't want to stick my face in there too far, but we do. See that? I can easily get up underneath that lip right there. And does look that it's got something is in there. A little stinky too. Is there any signs of above it, or there is like an X right there on the front of it actually. So maybe in there. And look at this huge X right here, right in front of it. These two trees are not together, and they're like pushed over. That Y above it, always above the entrance where it's at. It's kind of scary. I know it's work week. And look at all this under here. See how it's kind of like, they love that. They can kind of grow and move around. Look at how this nest is. See how big these trees are pushed over? How big of a nest. It's like a huge beaver's nest over there, getting all the shade it wants. Right at the end of the water. We're often theorized at the end of creeks and creek beds and other things. And now the water's starting to fill up in there. And when you know it, it's down below there in the dirt again. I saved the best for last. If you watch my video this long, you get a real treat because there's other Bigfoot in here. I just wanted to point out some things. I shot this photo a week prior to going back out there in the rain to see if that tree stump was real. And when I shot the tree stump, all that footage that it transformed took place. But this one looks so real in the background. And there was actually some things about it. There was a weird stick that came up. A stick came up with a loop on it that's right in front of it. Now I'm going to zoom in on that. There's another Bigfoot down here on the right. You can take a look at this photo even longer if you want and check him out. There's another head ducking down right in front of me. I heard something snap. There's a fresh snap right in front of me in these sticks. And you can see this is the exact same point I walked to when it was raining. So I looked at this and I came back, and that's why I shot the footage of the other Bigfoots. I mean, the shape is too real, and a lot of the formations that are in front of it are too real. See that stick that has a loop? Look right down in the middle of it. It has a loop on it. That's impossible. Now you see that net looking thing? You see the tridents around the tree? None of those were there when I went back. That's what I went to look for. There's X's, loops. See how it's all looking like it's some kind of like a kaleidoscope? Well, this is the same forest, and this is another net. I found 2 or 3 of them that they're making. Don't they look similar? They kind of like, I'm always suspected them of doing things. And that's other Bigfoot. So I go back, I look at the footage, and I go back to see another Bigfoot. But that loop right there, that has to be done by hand. It's just totally strange. Almost looks like a net that's like, protecting it. And I go back and then I see this Bigfoot, and there's 2 glowing eyes and a Spider-Man looking thing. The female or looking one has an ear. You can totally see her ear and her eyes. I know the raindrops are glowing down, but the eyes back there, I kept on seeing anomalies and shapes. As soon as I walked up to this thing, walked backwards, stood in the same point you just saw, turned around, and then I zoomed in this. Then I went back further, about another 10, 20 feet, turned around, and I saw that. But this little Spider-Man looking guy in front of it, this guy totally changes shape into a starfish. This red Saturn-like pattern. And it looks like they're all like these black, like ghostly figures walking through this warehouse that was open in the back. Like they're just walking around the gates and the pillars. She was staring at me, and I was there. You just saw the whole footage. I was real. I stood right there next to the stump, turned around, walked back. And then there's the starfish anomaly in front of the other one. This female looks exactly like the Planet of the Apes female. You can see her nose. Seems like her face is painted red. That's like a cloaking colors that are coming off of her. Now you see that X pattern, that whole red changes right there. And again, if you look in the back corner of the warehouse, looks like almost like a big dog, like with 2 little eyes, and sometimes it almost looks like a foot that's leaning over the edge there. Kind of changes shape too. I think one of them, I saw one of the shadows get up and run away in one of the points. Now this little Spider-Man looking thing, it transforms into a starfish looking thing, and it also then transforms into Pinocchio.